Yeah, I was reading that the manga's better than the actual show,
Shoot, I would hope so, cause
and I
that
could
ending
believe it.
sucked.
It was terrible.
That ending was trash. I was like really getting into this.
I was like, oh, they finna start killing up some folks now, and then I was like, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Herbal Synergies, the shop. I'm your host, Sinji. With me, as always, my co-host, Bay.
What up?
What's up, Herbie? How you doing, man?
Shoot, out here living life.
Living life.
Sometimes life lives you, but hey,
This is that your slogan now? Is that like your catchphrase?
I don't know, dog. Haven't decided.
That's what we've said it a couple times at this point.
It's catchy. I like it. I don't know
Living
if I fully
life,
commit
life
to
living
it.
me.
You know, yeah. I'll commit to it one day, maybe. But till then, I'm just having fun.
Well, my good sir, I have huge news. Huge
Huge
news that
news.
I've like neglected to tell you, and I never know how to say what name to use. So we'll just say infamous. I'm calling it infamous for short. It was infamous one, I think. But we already know in like 2 episodes when we do this tournament, I'm gonna drop his actual name because that's just what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I've neglected to tell you guys. Midway through this show, I'm gonna drop some huge news, and yeah.
Why
But
not just wait till you were midway through, then drop the news instead of just saying it?
what do you mean?
You said you're gonna drop some huge news. Why you just say wait till midway through the show, then drop it?
Nah. I'm like trying to catch people's attention right here in the beginning. It's like shit. He's got some news to deliver later on.
So you clickbait, huh?
Nah, not clickbait. It actually
Nah,
involves huge
that's all it
news.
is.
Nah,
Clickbait.
man,
Stay
clickbait.
tuned for this. Nah, dog.
Nah,
You shutting
the
us up.
way clickbait works is you get a really catchy title and like an image or something. That's clickbait. This is you already listening to us. You already in here. I don't need to clickbait you. You in here.
Should have just been like, hey, this is the news. Or you could say special interrupting breaking news.
Motherfucker, why you trying to ruin my
Bombshell.
shit, dog?
I'm just saying, dog.
You got a flavor this week?
I do have a flavor this week.
You got two flavors this week?
I actually have multiple flavors, but I just choose this one.
Alright, what
Um,
show's getting love?
I am going to give some love to my man Bam with the killer stuff.
Oh yeah, Bam?
Yeah.
My man Bam.
I also give some love to Love of Kill because that's ending too. But yeah, Bam, he talks to Rachel. He finally finds her. He's like, I didn't come here to hear your excuses. I came here to get revenge as Kun's companion. I was like, oh snap.
Yo, he popped off on Rachel, bro.
Yeah. And then Love of Kill, I'm gonna say the funny part was the cover story. And she's so damn dense, dog. She was like, oh, you can't oh, she's not allowed to drink. She's like, huh? Why not? I said I could. And everyone got it but her. I'm like, oh, you don't know you pregnant? That's the man saved you from yourself and then you just don't even notice.
I made a
Like, come
comment on
on.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she's dense, but yeah, man, I don't know. I don't. I feel like that was. I feel like Love of Kill ended,
I think it's done, so I'm gonna pick another show. Keep it up with
bro.
the freshness.
I not gonna lie. I was with it, and then I was like, "There's not a lot of episode left, and there's still a lot of things to solve here."
Yeah, I was reading that the manga's better than the actual show,
Shoot, I would hope so, because
and I
that
could
ending
believe it.
sucked.
It was terrible.
That ending was trash. I was like really getting into this.
I was like, oh, they finna start killing up some folks now, and then I was like, huh? I was like,
Fucking
guess there's not
hell.
gonna be a next week.
Yo, it was so bad. The ending was so bad. I was like, what I write? I write, hold on. And then we go to episode 12. I was like, that's the season finale? Fuck this show.
Yeah,
It pissed me off, bro.
yeah.
Which is funny because the ending, the last episode, which was not like the season finale, but like the 12th episode to Overlord, pissed me off too. The ending, it was just like a fucking cliffhanger.
Yeah. Well, you had a flavor this week?
Um, I can't remember if I read this in time to put it on last week or not, but it's still Luffy, man. I don't know if I this was my flavor last week. For the life of me, I can't remember, but Luffy and his Gear 5 Nika Devru fighting Kaido and like his now very cartoon ish behavior, and it's like it almost feels like, and I don't know if this is intentional or not. Oda does a lot of things, so like I'm sure it is intentional, but it's almost like Luffy awakening his devil fruit gave everyone else a cartoonish kind of vibe to them as well. Like, ain't no
Hmm.
way he did a gum gum rocket through Kaido's eyeballs and his eyes were fine.
That was crazy, dog.
I was just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? It's taking some like, don't get me wrong. I love it. I'm enjoying the fight, whatever. It's just the cartoon aspect. Oda. I read in an article that Oda's like a
Real
fan of
cartoony.
cartoons, American cartoons, I guess. So I guess he wanted to add that more of an aspect, that kind of aspect to the show. I feel like he may have dived a little too much into it, like Professor, the professor with the chemical X from Powerpuff Girls. Like I think he accidentally broke the bottle and it just poured in there with cartoons.
Yeah.
But next episode drops tomorrow, man, or well today when this comes out, and I'm excited.
Oh yeah, dog. Me too.
I don't know if you're as excited as me, but I appreciate it if you are.
Yeah, dog. I saw the fight. It's pretty crazy.
Yes. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, my man was using him like a jump rope. Mm.
He
But
was.
anyhow, I guess we go ahead and s- talk about Love of Kill since that was the terrible one. I was
Oh
kind of
man.
upset.
Love of freaking kill, bro.
I was thinking at least 24 episodes, but shoot. So Love of Kill, episode 10, Help. So this starts off, they were in a tent, and this was almost another one of mine. They did a little silly moment. She he was like, I don't care if y'all go at it, but just keep it down. And then he's like, you don't get it, do you?
Hold on, can you repeat that? I think I lost you for a second. From the 10 part.
Love of Kill, episode 10, Help. So there's a little silly moment where she's like undressing him to treat his wounds, and they're like scrambling, yelling, and the homeless guy comes in and says, "Hey, I don't care if you have at it, but keep it down." And then she's like, "Oh, he's so nice and caring, or whatever." And he's like, "You didn't get what you're saying, did you?" And
No,
she was
he had the
just
little
like,
chibi face in the background. Like, damn, homeless guy said, try not to fuck too loud.
"Yeah." So I was like, So, so then they get to talking, and he's like, "Oh," she's like, "Why did you come back for me?" And she's like, "Well, why did you do what you did for me?" And so she's like, it was too extreme for you just to turn in yourself. And I was like, it was. And so my man confesses that her coming back actually gave him strength to get out of there. I was like, oh, look at you.
He was really like, oh fuck, now I gotta save this bitch again. How many fucking times? He's like Mario with the princess.
Yeah. So that happens, and we find out that Chateau's really the one that Donnie Boy wanted. So, and she slipped through his fingers 17 years ago. So I'm like, she got kidnapped, or like, what's the plan? Because I think
Major backstory.
yeah, she called that man Papa or something, not Papa or Dad or something. I was like, oh, okay. So then this old man stumbles in and he starts drinking, and it turned out it's his drinking buddy. They had pulled guns on him and everything. And their cover story is that they're that guy's son and wife that were separated at birth.
I thought I low key thought that was Jim.
Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you've ever seen Jim's mouth, so we could say he could be anybody.
I mean, yeah, no, I just mean when he was like a shadow approaching, I thought it was Jim.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you mean, dog.
Mm.
So then that's when I mentioned earlier they come with the cover story, and it's like, oh, she can't drink. They're like, you got to get a shot because your long lost reunion, whatever. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna drink because she's lightweight. And then Rion's like, oh, she remember Darlene can't drink. And she's like, oh, I said I can. He's like, no, you're drinking for two now or something. And then she like didn't get it.
My man gave George the death stare though.
Yeah.
It's like take a hint, old man.
Yeah. So yeah. Then we get a flashback to some of the backstory of Rion, how he was living on the streets. And yeah, that was a good story. They kind of beat him up. Or is that the next one? Yeah. Have to get some of his life. And then Donnie Boy, she wants to go after Donnie Boy, but he's like, I can't get you involved. Like I could take care of it. And I'm like, they're walking to his safe house, and she like turns around. And I'm like, really? What are you gonna do? It's like, you can't do anything by yourself.
Yeah, but
So
she like opened up to him a little bit, and then like he was basically like, nah, stop thinking about it. So like I guess she felt like she couldn't trust him after all, almost.
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, but still, I mean, yeah, you're not gonna do anything by yourself. And so he snatches her up, and they go into the alleyway. He's like, I just couldn't let you go again after I just found you again. And then she gets a flashback when she was little, and I guess her father was named Lis Noble, and he was on the run. And it's kind of escort mission. And then Rion was chased by some people that wanted to sell my man. And then the original Rion tries to step in and help him because he wants to help people because that's what Mr. Donnie would do, and he shoots the man. And I kind of noticed this too, that like in that flashback, Rion, pasta Rion's size, like did it look like he got bigger and then small and then bigger and got small? Cause I was like, he looked like he was like 10 running. And then when they got up to him, he looked like he was like 13, 14. I'm
Yeah, it was
like,
kind of hard to gauge him. The newer current Ryong, right? When he was a kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cause I was like, he looks kind of small. Like I thought he was like 8, 9. Cause I would have put him closer to Chateau's younger age. But then like by the end of all that, he ended up being like 14, 15 or something. I don't know. So episode 11, worse. Rion has been treated for his wounds. They start chatting, and the plan is to get to the train station. Then we get some more backstory. Rion got suckered into this life because a man said he would help him, and they just ended up beating him and dislocated his shoulders, and they just treated him real bad. kind of sad for the boy. And then original OG Rion gets a call, and it's a noble guy that he's supposed to bring guide around the city. And then he tells him to find something, and then he gets shot. And did you notice that Sang Vu was the guy that Rion ended up killing when he infiltrated the Santo Kai?
When he if who what do you mean?
The guy that shot Noble was the guy that was in the Santo Kai, like his mentor person friend.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And that's probably why he no, I don't think he had anything. I don't think he did that because of the Noble family. I almost like had my mind blown, and then I was like, nah, that's stupid.
I mean, but we don't really know.
We don't know,
Like
but
it's
like
just like so much.
I don't think he had a way of knowing that they were involved.
I mean, I don't know. That's so much stuff you don't know about. That's why I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because I don't think they had to hit out or whatever. But I was like, oh, that's that guy from the Santo Kai.
I
And
thought I
so
recognized him for a second. I was just like, is that the?
yeah, yeah, that was his person that I get his handler when he was in that organization. So then we found out Chateau was in the locker. He had switched luggage with somebody that had identical suitcase and left out. And then they get to a car and drive away at the chateau. And apparently she has to use the restroom. And there's some people at the rest stop that was looking at him. And I was like, oh man, child kidnapping. And then um, so they get to a place, a little cabin in the woods, and they break in for the night. And then the OG Rion thinks that maybe Rion is with the enemy, and he's like, I should kill him now. He might know too much or something. And then the pasta Rion, or I'm gonna call him current Rion, tells him like the half-assed determination will be the death of him. I was like, oh, that could be my flavor of the week. And he and then he's like, oh, I'll just leave. So you won't have to deal with me. And then he's like, tell him, he's like, try not to die.
Yeah, it
And
was
that
like the dude couldn't decide whether he was like, damn, should I kill him? I should kill him. I shouldn't kill him. But then it felt bad when he left. I was like, damn, I was about to kill him.
yeah. So um so then the two thugs from before show up, and it's the motorcycle men. And I was like, oh, they was in cahoots, so they wasn't looking at Chateau, they was looking at Rion. So I was like, oh man, deception.
The
And
Ryongs.
yeah. And it's so Chateau's trigger phrase is "I want you to believe in me." So that's what set it down the spiral. And she was like, "Oh, I remember everything now." So
That kind of reminded me of the whole last chapter of Dragon Ball,
most definitely,
like the trigger words, and then like boom, key memory of childhood.
yeah, pretty much. So number 12, my name. So we flashed them, and both of the rayons are in bad shape. And the shot that he suffered before from Chateau when she was cowering in the closet didn't kill him. So I was like, okay, well that's good. And Chateau is still in a little trance-like state.
I was like, wait, so she killed him? Like, nah, he was in the car when they found her, and he's the one
Yeah.
with the freckles, so that was definitely him.
Yeah, I was like I was like, yeah, his wound must be like shoulder wound or something. Called him some blood or something. I was like, okay. So then Rion stumbles into men that beat him up, and he stabs this man in the eye. I was like, ooh, okay. Like he faked like he was down and
My
came
man
up
said
with this.
Urasenu.
Yeah, with the stick. I was like, oh, I was like, oh, he took a stick, and the man sharpened a little stick and stabbed him in the eye. I was like, you go, man.
You go, bro.
And then then he proceeds to beat him mercilessly. And so so then he starts to recount all his names that he had. Every place he moved, he changed his name. And he reaches the house where they was and passes out and wakes up in the hospital. And Detective Dankworth shows up to question him. And he immediately tells him, forget whatever you know about Ryong Hung San, because it's better for you if you didn't just remember. And then he goes to the apartment that he recovered in, and he encounters Bloom and Amy, two of his friends, and they're like, "Oh, do you know him? Whatever, da da da." And they're like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Is a name really so important?" And he's like, "My name is Ryong Hong Song," and I was like, "Oh, damn!" And they just flip it out on him. And then Chateau, flash forward, wakes up with the knowledge that she killed Ryong Ha Song, and he's like, "Oh, what a coincidence!" And she's like, you knew the whole time." And I was like, "Yeah, he knew." And
Yeah, he do.
she's like, he's like, I'm so sorry I killed him." And da da da. I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay. He didn't care." And
You
so,
had that moment before they even got there where like it was doing the past and the present. She was just saying "I'm sorry" repeatedly.
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah. So then she wants to hire him, but he's like, I can't work for you because you might force me to divulge secrets or whatever. But it's like, I can work with you as a peer. And she's like, "Well, I could pay you too." And he's like, "Oh, I don't want money, but I want some other compensation." And she's like, "What does it mean by other compensation?" And I'm like, "Oh, girl, you so innocent." And then,
I thought she was gonna put like something dirty together on the roof, and like as soon as
yeah,
he climbed up, she was gonna like slap him again because like she left two handprints on his face. The
yeah,
episode 11.
yeah. And this is the ending. It ends with helicopter sounds, and they're coming in, and then they draw their guns, and they both aim, and then he gives some long spiel, and then they peace out. And I'm like, "Oh, that's it?" I was like, when as soon as that happened, I said, "Oh, this is the end of the episodes. This is the end of the season." I was like, "Oh man,
Trash ass ending.
yeah." I'm about to find where it is and start reading it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, made me sad, but yeah, it's like, it's good so far. I liked it. Maybe it'll be season two. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
But yeah, so you kick off some Chojin.
Children? Alright, let me whip out my notes on children real quick. Oh no, it wasn't.
Not much there.
Yeah, the ending was. Ooh, that ending, boy.
Poor Azuma.
Yeah. So it starts off. It was a quick recap on like their plan on how Ellie is just like scouting. She can't use her powers, and she recalled how Azuma felt. It's like I kind of know how Azuma feels now. I can't really do anything other than this. And then a guy contacts Paper Cut Lady. And was like, "Yo, you got him?" It's like, "Yeah, we're at the we got him right here. Are you at the same spot?" It's like, "Yeah, all right, cool. I want to see him now." And then Azuma, in the midst of this, recalls a moment with his dad where they were walking on train tracks and they were gonna go left, and then he asked, "Where does the right path lead?" So they walked
They
up the
get the
right
other way
path.
around.
It might
Yeah,
be the other way around, but
yeah,
they go the other path that they don't usually go. And after walking so long that Azuma got blisters on his feet that popped, they came across a dead end. And anytime Azuma was like stuck on something, he would remember the dead end and
yeah,
like wonder if he took the right path. So Azuma decides he doesn't want to regret not trying to save Tokyo, and he goes and he confronts Paper Cut Lady. And you think for 1 second, right, like right before that, right, like literally right before he approached her, he gave a hyena directions to the ocean,
Yeah, I was like,
and I'm just
just
like,
talking to-
why are you talking to animals? Are you about to awaken your powers?
yeah,
So I was getting hyped, dog. I was getting
I was
fucking
like,
hyped. I was like, my man's about to, yo, my man knows martial arts. He's about to go, yo, he's about to go off on this fucking bitch,
yeah,
right?
cause I was like, yeah, I was like, did the coyote talk or did he just understand him? I was like,
Yo, he gave
which
that
one is it?
motherfucker directions. That nigga said much obliged,
Yeah,
right? Right? So he
yeah,
goes, and this motherfucker gets clapped. He gets his,
can't win them all.
yo, yo, he got his ear chopped off, and then at the very end, before the very end, Tokyo, she like goes crazy, I guess, and they felt the tingle from her. So tentacle face dude was like, "Don't move," and I guess wrapped up tentacles around Tokyo and went to go find her. Tokyo went full beastification, but he kind of looked like a withered bird that like hasn't eaten in days. And then we
Yeah,
go back, and my man was sliced and diced to pieces.
yeah,
I was like, bro, I thought Azuma was an important piece of this show. Is like he gonna be the deciding factor to why Tokyo becomes a hero? I guess I understand it, but I
yeah.
was
Then
hoping
it
for a
chopped
little
up
tag team
Ace.
action, bro.
Nah, man, they cut Ace down. He had to go.
That shit was crazy. Guys, if I sound kind of weird, I am coming like off of like being sick, so I apologize for that.
Sound weird all the time to me, anyway.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so I was like,
So
man,
what do we have left right now? Jujutsu, Tower of God, and Overlord, right?
yeah,
Okay. All right.
Jujutsu wasn't much. They started fighting, and Yuta used the guy's own technique on him, and pretty much beat him. And he's like, "Oh, I've had my fill now. I'm full." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, and
Got beat up.
Yuta said something along the lines of like he would never fight like this or whatever, but he's gonna make an exception for this guy.
Yeah, nice fight.
It was a
It's
good fight.
over. Yeah, yeah. So I guess we get into
What?
some.
Hold on, hold on. It's time for the news. All right, Irby. I knew about this for a couple days, and I decided not to tell you or Lord Infamous. There it is, Lord Infamous. Not Infamous One. It's Lord Infamous. I don't know which one it is. I'm just gonna call him Infamous. Um, I am currently in the process of getting 4 books published.
4 books.
Let me explain. Let me explain. But yes, 4 books. It is the first volumes of the first and second story in both um, light novel form and manga form.
A word.
And the reason I did it like this is because, as I think I've told you, I might have told Infamous that like my overall goal for this to have someone publish it, like someone fund it. So I only want I wanted to get both stories started, so I have like something to show as to like how it's where it's going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I dropped 6 grand on this project, and I have 2 teams. A team for the light novels and a team for the mangas. Well, I don't think we'd call it mangas at this point, but the team for the comics, we'll call it comics. That's what American calls illustration graphic books. So a team for the comics and a team for the light novels, and there's a lot of setup and discussions going on right now on just like what direction we're heading in, what needs to be done to get this started, and things like that. Blah blah blah. But pretty soon, pretty soon, I'd say within a year. I don't want to. It could be way sooner than a year, but I don't want to put a timestamp on it. We could
Hmm.
we could have we should be having physical copies of the first volumes of my story.
Okay. That's great news, my good sir. I wish you would have told me before now. I feel like I find out like everyone else. Thought we were supposed to be cool.
Well, I wanted to tell you on the podcast.
Nah, dog. I wanted to know as soon as it happened.
Oh, look at Irby making everything about him.
It is. It's my world, and you just living in it.
Nah, the world's living in you.
That's true.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Okay, so
Congratulations, Saya.
oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome, Saya.
Yeah,
King.
I have a lot of work to do. I'll probably do it tomorrow
Shoot.
because I have a meeting on Monday,
Hmm.
and I have to try to get a couple things done before that meeting happens.
Yeah. Okay, dog. I see you, big boy.
But yeah, so what what are we talking about next?
Nothing. We're shutting the podcast down.
Damn.
That's we're going out on that note, fellas. Thanks for listening, everybody, and I'll catch you next week.
So Tower of God.
Yeah, Tower God. So I did season 2, episodes 308 to 310. I started at 310 because Khan's dead, but I'm not gonna read anymore in remembrance of Khan. But
You did not
nah,
stop at 310.
nah, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn, my boy, he might not come back. I said, I can't handle it. My heart's broke.
I don't blame you, man.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah. So Jihad's talking to Data Jihad, and he's like, he's seeking to place fate under his control. And he's like, you don't know who that boy is. And he tells him, if you find out the truth, you may regret your actions. And he says he's going to take the bracelet. And if Bam is qualified enough to have this, then he will appear for him again someday. And Rack and company find the exit to the train. And Dorsey uses her bonbon to get through the exit. And all the data people end up dying. And then we find out that Batch's daughter was just a location tracker for him. I was like, dang. They just did it to keep track tabs on the dangerous uh, data.
Brutal.
Yeah, and then Batis and Hung Sung share a moment together. Then all the yeah, the whole premises turns back to a void, and the bracelet floats away. And the treasure eating stingray grabs the bracelet, and Wang Nan and Bam are dropped in front of Endorsi. And then they flash to Jihad's altars that he has, and they talk about why Jihad gives orders in three, I should say. And they say if you can complete one, the other will disappear. So it gives you a choice of free will or, feeling of choice. And then they give some orders. By orders of the king, destroy or kill these people. Fug, everyone currently riding the Hell Train, and the Po Bido family. I was like, ooh, ain't that one of the 10 families? I'm like, oh no, everyone's finna die. So
Yeah, that's one of the families.
yeah, so I think what's gonna happen is the Hell Train's probably the easiest one to do. So the Hell Train finna get destroyed.
Well, it's
And
probably part of the decision of those missions too. Like give them options as to which to do, but make the one you want done the most the easiest one.
yeah, probably. I don't know, but they were discussing it because they're trying to keep it under wraps because they go try to wipe out the Pody Bidon family. It's going to end up Tower and War chaos. Going to have a whole bunch of side split. So they're talking about how difficult it is to carry out the orders. It's gonna be hard to wipe out Fug, and they have to break rules for the train. And the third will cause a war. And then Karaka tries to attack Bam, and Uriha steps in to stop him.
My man got no chill, bro.
Yeah, I can't blame him. And then Karaka is teleported elsewhere by Wang Don. And then this is almost my moment of the week when Rack was crying over Khan not breathing. I was like, oh man, oh no, oh no, not Khan, the best one.
Stop.
So I'm shedding tears, dog. So then they apparently in the altar they lied on the new ranker. It was like, oh, he didn't know exactly what to do, whatever. So they were just bought in time to figure it out. And Adora Jihad, uh, she's like, she rules like Iron Fist or whatever. I think she's part of the army, and she's like, "Just we're gonna do all three." I'm like, "Whoa, damn, all three?"
She wanted all the smoke, bro.
She did, and then so Jing Sung, Bam's teacher, talks to what Machini and tells him war will be here soon or something along those lines. She came to see him, and he asked Machinery or Machini if she knows why there hasn't been war in the tower since the ancient wars. And he's like, "Oh, people don't like change." He gives her a little spiel, and it's like, "You get strong with age, and your mind goes away, and you're kind of averse to change because the smallest reaction gets you, and you weather by time." And then he tells her not to stir up fights for nothing. And she's like, "Oh, you know, your love was killed by someone close with the Jihad families, their orders, and we found out that's the reason why he's in FUD because his love was killed." And then the fighting continued to commences. My man wipes out a whole bunch of ships. I was like, okay, he's strong, strong.
Yeah, he's strong, strong, bro.
And Bam wakes up and says something about the hidden floor, and they tell him to be quiet. And I'm like, what difference does it make? It's a whole void now. And
Well, maybe.
did,
So like maybe if you forget, because like if you talk about the floor, you forget everything that happened on the floor. You forget about it completely. So what if in turn that like negated all the training he did?
that's possible, but I still feel like it it's the floor's no more, so the rules shouldn't apply. And
That's fair.
yeah, it. So I'm like, why does it matter? And then all y'all know about the hidden floor, so I don't know. It was just weird because I'm like, the floor's not there anymore because it got wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
So then we find that Kun's frozen in a hidden state of stasis. His power awakened to save him at that moment, and Evan is keeping him alive right now with an item. And Dorsey tells Bam everything that transpired, and they go to see Beta, and Beta is in the lighthouse, and apparently all the rules are off on the train, and the train's in like a state of anarchy because Beta shouldn't be able to exist on the train for whatever reason. So I was like, huh. Hmm. And then they tell him that Rack said he's going to kill that freckled turtle, and Beta gives gives Bam a memory stick.
Yeah, right. I'm about to kill the freckle turtle.
I love
That
Rack.
bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, you kill it, Rack.
Fucking bitch. How dare you hurt Khan?
Yeah, get all the smoke, Rack.
See, okay, so Rachel, when Rachel's defending herself, she makes she makes valid points, but also contradicts her actions or
Yeah,
the reactions of everyone else. Because Bam came at it with logic, and it's just like, well, yeah, it's okay to do for yourself, but now there's a consequence, and guess what? You're gonna face it.
Yeah, because there's really no reason for her to put a bomb in Kun's chest at all. you know.
Yeah, but Kun wants her dead. I can't blame Rachel for trying to kill Kun.
Yeah, I could see if they met out on the street or whatever, but they joined together as a team to accomplish the goal, and the goal wasn't even completed yet, and you decide, oh, let me blow him up now. Like, come on. I could see if y'all was climbing up on the tower and then cross path, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna get him now.
Well, Rachel
You know?
knows she's weak, so she was like, I need to take out this motherfucker now.
Yeah, but still, I'm
No,
like,
no,
oh,
yeah, trust me. I'm team anti Rachel for life.
I'm just like, I'm like, why? And so yeah, Rachel. So Beta gave the memory stick to Bam to view, and Bam's like, I got. He sees all this stuff that happens. Like, I got to go stop Rack, and he says it's because he has White and Yura with her. That's why he wants to stop her. Because at first I was like, "What? You gonna stop Rack from killing? Nah, dog. Let Rack kill him up." But then I understood why he did what he was doing, what he was doing. So I wasn't too mad. And so he Bam says he's gonna make her pay for what she did to Kun. And then I'm kind of like, I believe it when I see it, because I don't think he will. And Masing wants to kill Rachel as well. And then they all agreed to tell Bam a little by everyone that died on the train at the hands of Rachel and her team. And Bam runs into Horion. She tells him that there are no more rules on the train, and she could take him to Rachel because apparently she started seeing again on the train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Jin Sung, we find is from the Ha family, and he blocks a whole attack, and my man kicks a whole cannon. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, he's OP.
Yeah, yeah, he's real strong, strong. I ain't even mad at the boy, but yeah, so then he asked Machine if she came to see her troops get slaughtered and tells her to leave if she doesn't want to fight. And then we flash to Rachel. She crying about her loss of powers and yada yada. And she's like, I ruined the bed and I'm pathetic again. And then she tells Yura that she doesn't know how it is because she has a pretty face. I'm like, Shh, you got a decent face, you just got an ugly heart. So so yeah, that's what I'm like. So then Rack shows up and is like, well, Rachel's like, oh, I want to go, and Rack shows up. He's like, go where, Turtle? And he's like, I don't know where you want to go, but if you want to leave, I'll help you go. And then he's like, go to hell. Like, okay, Rack. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, that was almost my other flavor. So then White shows up behind Min Sing because she was there scouring the area, looking at them. And he tells her he has an unusual soul. So now I'm kind of curious about her soul now. And he's gonna enjoy eating it. And then Dorsey shows up, starts fighting. Rack attacks Rachel. Bam shows up to stop. I'm like, Bam, dog. You could have just let him do that. Let him slaughter her. Less blood on your hands. So that happens. And Yuriha tries to defend Rachel against Bam. Bam kind of is like, get out of here, Nat. Stay out of my way. Bam blames Kun getting hurt on Rachel. I guess more so on himself because he's like, I'll let you go with me. It's partly my fault. And so we flash back to Machinery and Jinsun. They continue to fight, and he asks her if she what is she? If she's not really trying to fight, what is she after really? And asks if it's a secret. She tells him about the orders, And then flash back to Rachel. Rachel's like, "Oh, you never got angry with me before. It must be because of Khan." And he said, "Khan tormented me while I was on the train, but I'm like, that man did everything for you while you was on the train. Make sure you get up the tower. What you talking about?"
Nah,
So
he knew pretty early on that Rachel set Bam up. It was a
yeah,
setup from the beginning. Although
yeah,
like she is lying because he was pretending that he didn't know. So that's still not exactly accurate.
yeah. So I was like, yeah, dog. Like he knew. Like he took y'all up the places and let you know stuff, and this is what you do to my boy. So yeah, and she was like, I simply got my revenge, and I'm like, I'm climbing up the tower like everyone else. And Ben was like, I can't understand you, and she's like, she says that's right, and that's because you have everything. He's like, so what if I killed Khan? I compete for it, square, fair and square. And I'm like, you ain't compete for it. You had the whole big breeder's power by yourself. So that man, big breeder was OP. And that's what you do? Nah, you out here doing the most, Rachel, lying. It's
Lying
like you'll
ass
never,
bitch.
yeah, it's like y- you'll never feel desperate. That's why you act like you have friends. I'm like, oh, this woman. So he's like, I tells her, I didn't come here to hear your excuses. I came to get revenge as Kun's companion. And she says, I competed fairly. Why am I the bad one here? Says everyone hates her.
Tell her. Tell her. Tell
Yeah.
the Bam.
Yeah. And calls her a bad person. She says, I was just unlucky. Says she didn't do anything wrong. Bam says, you still have no idea what you've done wrong. Says Bam stole everything from her. I'm like, how? Bam's Bam, and you are you. Like it was meant for you. You would have had the power, but you didn't. Um, so then we flash to Jinsung, and now we're where that Jinsung knows everything. That knows that Jihad knows everything about Bam, and then we get to Jihad's messenger. They come for Hang Soon Yu, and he's sentenced to death. Bam says it's the end. It's time to end this. Rachel fighting starts,
Yo,
and
my man just had black energy vibes to him.
Black Air Force energy. You
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, dang. So let's see. Yeah, so he senses a stingray, and and Dorsey's fighting White pretty tough, you know. And then she summons Beta to fight. Bam tells Rachel, I was happiest when we were together, and yet after coming here, um, so far all you've done is hurt people to climb the tower. I'm like, she is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, don't ever show your face around here or to the people who matter to me, or else I'm really gonna have to kill you. He's like, I hope I never see you again. And says he was she says she was destined to look at Bam from a distance, and says she's the only one who knows about him. Says, don't you want to know why you were trapped in that cave? So she got my man on the hook again, and then Lord Evenkill shows up to sing Hung Sung You. And what, there's a Tinker Yolch or something shows up and tells her that's enough, and they start fighting some more. And Ivan Kill has the power of the ancients, and then administrator shows up. And I'm like, okay, and fires her, and then sends him to a warp gate. And apparently, I guess it's part of the plan too, because um, it's like the warp gate to the Hell Train. So they get to the Hell Train quicker. So let's see. And then Horion asks White for a favor and says, "I'll show you the your final your final clone if you lend us your power. And so I'm like, okay, whose side is she on? And then we flash back to Rachel, and she tells Bam he wasn't born to be a hero that saves slash changes the towers. He's born to curse the tower and devour everything in there. He's a monster. Says that all let's see, for all something, all you to do was chase her. And he's like, you know, just chase me a whole lot, and you don't like me though. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there. And then so the ships are going to the last train station. Hats and the crew are doing recon to figure out why everyone's going there. Hats goes to get some answers, and because he doesn't like waiting. And we find out Kun can be awakened again by the flame of the Yeon family. Can't be Hiwa, but because she's inexperienced or whatever. And the man is Woon Yeon. Yeah, and the person he asked for help. And then my other moment right here was Rack and Bam celebrating. I was like, oh, so
Now let me stop you right there because we're going into another story at this point. How did you like how that story went,
it wasn't a bad story.
or should I say arc?
Yeah, it was a good arc.
Yeah,
Arc de Triomphe.
arc the triumph. Okay, all right. That's all I wanted to know. Go ahead.
Yeah. So and Dorsey asks Horion and she knows why White retreated. She's like, nope. But I'm like, you know why he retreated. And Dorsey, I never trusted you from the beginning, but she doesn't say that out loud. And Beta notified her that White's final clone vanished. And I was like, yep, sounds about right. And Bam goes to motor pot to train, and Bam has a moment where he contemplates what Rachel said and says he's going to get stronger for the people who matter to him. Boro tells Hockney about the station, and Hot's quarrels with the people he was going to get information from, and it tells him the orders were to kill everyone on the train. And then Jin Sung heads for the station. I'm like, okay, much to unpack there. Lovely episode. Well done.
Ooh man, Tower of God, man.
Pretty good, you know.
Like you seem so far, but you also seem so far behind.
You seem so far behind.
You're catching up quick 'cause you're doing 8 chapters a week,
Just
where
got to, dog.
I'm stuck to like the one that releases a week, as long as it's releasing.
Yeah, dog.
So
Can't
like,
win
what
them
was the
all.
last chapter you had?
312. No, 315.
315. So there's still that's 395. There's
Yeah.
533 out right now. You still got like 100 and some change to go.
Yeah, dog. I ain't worried about it.
Ooh.
Catch up in no time.
So a little bits of Overlord.
Yes.
Okay. Episode 10, True Vampire. Selushi, I think her name is. These names are kind of rough for me.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to the names.
Selushi and Sebis are in like a mansion type residence because they're on a mission from Ainz to like I guess hold an appearance in the area, and they're looking for a martial arts master for Lord Ainz. So they end up getting lured by the guy who controls the cart, but they were actually planning for him to try to sell her body. And Shoutier came out and started murdering everybody except the one guy who was riding the cart, which Salushi showed him her tits, which had no nipples and bothered me. And then he got absorbed into her body. I don't
Yeah,
know
that
what
was.
she is, but she had no tits, nipples.
I mean, it should be like that.
And then
It,
at some point these motherfuckers were talking about voice actors because Sheltier would sometimes listen to. She overheard a conversation between Ainz and one of the other players,
yeah,
and his sister, I guess, is a voice actor, so they were talking about it. And it's just like voice acting is something the greater beings can do that brings life to a person or a creature. I was just like, I
yeah,
mean, I guess that's not entirely incorrect.
yeah. Just a different spin.
And so Shaltir is on a human hunt, and the one guy that seemed like he can give her a fight, he went to swing at her, and she didn't stop the sword from the front like normal OP people do. So the motherfucker swinging that sword at them, like Ichigo did to Aizen in that on their last fight. No, she reached from the back and then grabbed it, which was like, wow, okay, bigger flex. You went out of your way to like grab it the harder way. Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
And then, she took a very unpleasant form. I believe at this point she was in an unpleasant form. She was
yeah. I think
yeah,
so.
yeah, because Brain ran away and then she went chasing him in that long tongue form and she started killing everything. So then she went and she killed the pretty much everyone in the party that was outside the cave. Which one of the
Yeah,
women happened to be the girl who got the potion for Ainz, and
yeah,
she used like mind control on her to like reveal that there were more humans in the forest. So she went to kill them all. Well, she got caught in a trap and she got stuck there.
yeah,
Episode 11: Confusion and Understanding. The guild. In the beginning of this episode, Ainz is scouting out Shaltir where she is and see that she's stuck. And the guild requested that Ainz shows up to deal with a vampire. Conveniently, it's her. Now,
yeah,
I like the hamster's character. The hamster is funny because he's like the way he talks is great. He's just like they're like go to the mansion, and the hamster's like to the mansion I do not want to go. My life I fear for indeed. And then like um Naburo is just like you are the master's pet. No one would harm you. It's just like your word I will take it.
yeah,
And I was just like I kind of like the hamster. I like the hamster's character. It's like
yeah,
a goofy Yoda, I guess. But I've never watched Star Wars, but I imagine that's how Yoda talks.
yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so at this point, Ainz is sitting at the table with the other adventurers at his rank, and he's just like, "I'll take care of the vampire. You guys will be in my way. Don't come, but if you must, then I can't promise you your life." So the one guy, being stubborn about it, decided to go anyway, and he had the timid twin kill him. It was like, "I told you this was gonna happen. Should have listened."
yeah,
And we get a tour of the guild because they decided that Ainz decided he needed world class weapons. So there's or world class equipment. So there's 1 through 10 tier spells, then super tier spells, and then world class tier spells. If I'm not mistaken.
yeah. All sorts of tears.
But what's weird about this is, and or I guess I can get into this a little later. So like he's going through the mausoleum, and we come across his own created NPC, which was kind of a nutcase and bit of a horn dog.
Yeah.
And dude's
The
like,
fanatic too.
Ainz is like, be cool, dude. Damn. So they
Yeah.
go and grab the 4 world tier items, and then Ainz decides he's gonna handle this by himself. And Alberto is crying on the floor at this point, telling him like, "You can never leave us. Promise you'll come back." And eventually he caves in and promises he'll come back. So Ainz goes to fight Shalltear. Episode 12, The Bloody Valkyrie. Now I'm in like kind of like disbelief this whole episode because like I know from the tournament that this motherfucker's OP.
Yeah, I know he won't finna die.
But everything in this episode was like, how OP are you? Or how OP is she? Are you hiding something? I don't get what's going on here.
Too much.
You know what I mean? But like him and Alberto puts her position on the line and bets that Ainz will make it out of this alive. And before he fights Shalltear, he casts like 30 boost spells on himself.
Yeah,
And
I'm like the man just casting spells, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, like 30 of them. And
too
like
strong.
and then he just leveled out the entire playing field, and she seemed like she came out of that unscathed. So I think that looked like a waste of magic. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't tell. So Shalltear is she's basically fighting him because of the world tier spell that's on her, to like attack what attacks you or something like that. But like she has her complete state of mind correct. So like she knows it's Ainz. She knows that's her master. She questions it in her head why she wants to attack him. But like on the outside, she's still enjoying it.
yeah,
Yeah, so they're fighting, they're slugging it off, they're going back and forth, and I guess Ainz had a final trump card. He gets her to summon her almost angelic looking doppelganger while she summoned her shadow creatures and like used her weapon on it to like replenish her life. But then he did something that wiped them all out. And the episode fucking ended. I was just like, well, the fight just got fucking good. What do you mean to be continued?
yeah. I was like, not too bad.
You sound a little low right there, Irby.
You sound a little high. How about that one?
Oh, there you go. You're back. My bad, dog.
Open up your ears.
Oh no, you just started talking louder.
No,
Yes, sir.
did I? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
Oh my god. So,
Maybe Loud started talking me.
oh my god. Anything you want to know, Irby?
Yeah, I want to give a special shout out to Gravity as far as holding me down. I don't know where I'd be without you. Um, yeah, that's about it.
This man said gravity for always holding me down.
Yeah,
Let that sink in, everyone.
yeah, it'd be like that.
Anyways,
But yeah, I don't have much to note. It's been a good week, good episode. You know, can't complain.
all right. Well, that's
Yeah,
gonna do it for this week's installment of Herbal Synergies. The shop. No. The shop is how we introduce ourselves. Herbal Synergy, our podcast. That's what it is. That's the name. I'm getting old. I'm not even that old.
you're not that old.
I'm not that old, but my memory ain't what it used to be.
It could be better.
Anyways, hope you guys enjoys. Peace.
Peace.